Yonder Father, is the Lions still a thing? Shall I feed you a bit more?
No. Do you know what I always get with when people write in questions and you read them out like that, is whether they're trying to, people write in their names and they're trying to get you to say something.
Yeah.
Does that ever catch you out?
Yes, there's a few 69s at the end of some of them. Fuck, I said it, but we can say it.
Okay, fine.
Shall I feed you a bit on here? Tell you what I think.
Yeah, 100%.
So when I'm sat on the Lions stuff at the minute, there's a part of me where it's everything that's wrong with the game. But then I think about the tradition and I think about how great it would have been as a player to play for the Lions and the history and the heritage. But I understand why people are asking if it's still a thing. And people will be burnt by COVID, but I'm talking about, I referenced it there, that middle class white guy, the insurance company that's the main sponsor, just doesn't feel cool. That's the kind of very superficial perspective. But me personally, I love it, but I know why people are asking.
Okay.
What do you think?
I've never even thought about the Lions, as a brand or as cool or not cool, because it was always the pinnacle of the sport, and kind of what comes with the pinnacle of the sport is from my perspective when I was a player, is that is cool and there's no debates. But from an outsider's perspective still, I probably maintain the view that I think it's cool because you just don't get, it's completely, I know it's however old it is, but it's the only sport where there's still a team like that. And it's probably one of the most innovative ideas that rugby has had, and it's lasted this long. So I don't know. I think everything it kind of not represents is the wrong word, but the bringing together of four teams to make one is just cool. Like the All-Star game in the NBA is cool because it's not, you don't see it all the time, and there are new players and there's this, that and the other, and there's different opposition. In the same vein, I think the Lions is cool. Yeah, they can probably do more. They can probably do more to make it cooler and more appealing to people who aren't into rugby. But I think that that's more a systemic rugby issue than it is a Lions issue.
100%. And I think when you actually outline it like that, it's clear, right, what the players think. I just think that how they package it could be cooler. You talk about a draft system, and this ain't talk about NFL, all right, they're doing it right. I'm talking about a way in which Andy Farrell will pick his team. Let us in. Show us how you do it. Right?
Yeah.
Like how you doing it. You're doing it on analysts looking at it. You're doing it on stats. You're doing it on feel. How do you become part of the most prestigious team in the world? Like that's what I'm looking for. When I say stuffy, I say that with all due respect because it's insurance and it's equity and banking. Then that's our game, right? The Gallagher Premiership, the Aviva Stadium, the Allianz Stadium. They have that in football. I understand that, but that's where the money is, right? But actually, how do you make the delivery of the Lions cooler, a little bit edgier, and that interacts with the kind of younger and I suppose new audience? Show us the jeopardy. Show us how, because we know, me and you know, how iconic that red jersey is, and every tour lives up to it. So you think from '97, iconic in South Africa. You think about the '09 one as well in South Africa. Anyone who played in that game will be like, it's the most physical one they've had. Your one in New Zealand in 2017, it was a draw.
Yeah,
fucking. I remember I was there. I just retired. I remember watching it, and I'd had enough of rugby.
Yeah,
I was like, and as a player, there's no greater thing than that red shirt.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm trying to think of stuff that, outside the box to kind of, you spoke about the Sarries game. I think that that's a great start. They should definitely try and do that with the Lions. And I think that the freedom to allow players to express themselves however they want to, whether it's, people will hate this and what I talk about celebrating after tries.
Why would they hate that?
Well,
every other sport does it.
I know. Well, this is the rugby audience, but all those things, the drama, talking openly in the media, if there's a player on the opposition that they don't like, or if they think that they're going to win the series 3-0, just saying it, like that type of stuff makes people watch the game. It's like, I know people can say they're trying to copy boxing and all that, but if you try and take the best bits that sell from all sports, or as many sports as you can, you're probably going to improve the game a little bit. So
look at what happened with Rico Ioane and Johnny Sexton.
exactly.
Like, and the game weren't great.
Exactly.
But the build-up and the haka, when Rico Ioane's in the middle of the haka, and he gets it right, you can see. If you follow him, he's the one walking into the stadium last week in his gear with his fucking bag looking cool. With his bag. Laddie
Cash
walking with the
hanging out
bag
of it.
Looking cool. Yeah,
He is cool though.
He is cool.
Guy.
You're right. And that's part of it. And I think there's players now, this next gen coming through that do get it. Definitely like the ones coming up through the under-20s. The Lions is fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. And then just off the back of that, how was it coming in? So if you're, I don't know if you are judgmental, I'm quite judgmental, but you're saying that you didn't think you'd like Dan Cole, or you didn't think, you'd be a fan of whoever it was. When you're looking at the different players coming in that environment, was there anything that surprised you culturally with the other nations that came in?
Not culturally. I mean, like, to be honest with you, I was Tyke Furlong. I said it a second ago. Like, I didn't go into the tour thinking we would be cool. I'm mixed race bloke, grown up in Surrey, interested in fashion, all this stuff. Ty grew up on a farm, big bloke, no interest in fashion,
Baggy jeans.
There you go. And bro, 3 weeks after the tour in Vegas together, like, there's a group of us, but even still, and like he's a good mate. So you can't go into those tours with any preconceived ideas of who you're going to get on with, who you're not. The other thing that surprised me, mate, was the amount of unprofessionalism that goes on, to be honest with you, for want of a better word. Like, between the second and third test, I think they did it on the 2013 tour. They definitely did it in 2017, and we did it on the South Africa tour as well in COVID. But basically you have like 3 days where you're basically out as a group, or if not, you're just kind of locked in the hotel, essentially drinking, for want of a better word, or letting your hair down, whatever you want to call it. And on that 2017 tour, like, boys got it wrong. I was one of them. I got it wrong. I took it way too far. And mate, you should have seen the training session on the Wednesday. Oh, like, I swear, if we'd played the local school team that day, we would have got beat. Like, it was awful. And that was before the biggest game of all of our lives, probably. Some boys would have played in tours previous or whatever, but the majority of lads, that was the biggest game that they'd ever played. And then come the weekend, boys are sweet flying into it. Like, I couldn't, that shocked me.
Or sometimes with a bit of terror.
Yeah,
that can spark it. Maybe that was always the way. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gats is a smart guy, so fair. He might have, but I was like, honestly, I had the fear from Tuesday all the way through till post-game Saturday. I don't know how